What's up everyone, this is the Radioactive Spider Dude, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made my Spider-Man costume. I will cover where and how much the materials are in a different video. This is just showing you how I put it all together. So first you can see me testing out how the puffy paint all slides out, and then I go over to the mask. And then you can also see on the mask, I have paper taped over the lenses. That's just in case a little bit of paint drops off and lands on the lenses. I don't want to mess those up. Obviously I didn't perfectly cover it all. But some puffy paint did get on the actual paper, so I am glad that I put it there. All clips in this video, including the previous one and all the time lapses, are double the speed just to show how much time this took to do. I highly suggest you listen to music or have like a show binging in the background, just because this is a very boring and tedious process and you can be easily distracted. So have it be something you've watched before or just some good music to listen to. You'll notice here that I do actually get a little bit of paint onto the frames around the lenses, and I just used a small piece of paper to wipe that away. Now for the hands, they don't just sell mannequin hands. Well, at least if they did, I didn't want to get one. So I just put a piece of cardboard inside of it to stretch it out a little. I use my hand as a reference on a piece of cardboard, and you can see the scraps around it.
Okay, if you can hear me over the fan, I have all the puffy paint drying in front of the fan, hopefully to speed up the drying time. So this should be done in about 10 minutes, and then this still takes another 3 hours.
You'll notice at the end of the video that the mask does kind of pinch together at the front, so I just moved this part onto the back part of the head, so it would be easier to paint. For the arms, I just put in a Lysol bottle, and you could also use actual bottles. And then for this part on the shoulder, I used rubber bands to stretch out the fabric fully. For the body, I used a pillow that was about the size of me. If you're insane enough, you could have someone else do this, and then you just lie inside of it, but puffy paint has a 4-hour dry time, so. So for the feet, I'm doing this before I do the puffy painting stuff on the feet. So I bought a pair of water shoes. And then I took out the, kind of arch supporter thing that's supposed to be in there, slipped it inside, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut off all the excess so I'm only left with the sole, then take some of this shoe goo adhesive, and then attach it to it. Make sure so you have to be wearing it when you attach the sole to it, and also be wearing a plastic bag over your foot just so you don't get attached to the suit or the suit doesn't get attached to you. Since this sugar stuff is
really strong, so you won't have to worry about it slipping off when you're running around outside of Spider-Man. Quick tip when you're cutting up the water shoes. So I originally tried to cut through it with scissors, but after this mesh part, trying to cut through this material right here is really difficult with a pair of scissors. I couldn't even stab it. And it was a really good pair of scissors too. So I took a knife and have just gone around the edge with it.
Quick note afterward, I did not use the shoe glue because the shoe glue that I had was way too old, so it wouldn't even come out of the bottle. It was just all dried out and stuff. And instead of buying shoe glue, I just bought a bottle of Gorilla Glue, which will have about the same effect, so you can do either one of those. Just a strong adhesive will work. Alright, so for the kind of bootish part, I put in one of my dress shoes that had kind of a bit of a rounded curve on it. Obviously starting from the back and working my way to the front. And then put in another just container to round out the rest of it, and I'll have to flip it over to do the bottom. If you didn't enjoy that, lucky for you, you get to do all of that again except on the webs. So you'll want the puffy paint to come out a little thicker, and then you'll also go over the seams so that it looks a lot better. Now unfortunately the puffy paint does seep in a little, so this looks a lot thicker than it does in person right now. So if you weren't insane enough, you could go over it again to make it thicker and stick out more, but I wasn't willing to do that. You might have just seen, but for the zipper I went right over it, and then after it all dried out I just cut it down the middle, and then it's pretty seamless. Okay, so when you're doing the puffy paint for the hand, what I did is I took like I put a bottle in here, and then each of the fingers besides the thumb has a marker in it to thicken it up to about the size of a human finger. Now unfortunately not all the webs completely line up because Amazon doesn't sell high quality suits, but you'll have to just improvise. Gotta paint the lower part, but I still got the hand in the way, so now at the home stretch, you'll just have to do the spiders. So what I did is I put that pillow in and then traced it out with parchment paper over it, and then cut out the parchment paper and trace it onto foam. You obviously have to cut out the seam line on the back spider, but that was the easiest way I could think of getting it to perfectly match up with the original on the suit. And there you go. That is how I made the Spider-Man costume. So like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, dislike it and tell me what I could do better in the future. Comment what other videos you'd like to see me do with the suit. Also, comment any questions you may have. I will be willing to answer any questions.
Pizza time.